Hey everyone! With the advent of FaceFusion 2.7, those that didn't purchase it ahead of time can now finally use the new Pixel Booster. Without getting into the details, because the upgraded versions of InSwapper aren't available for free or even a reasonable price to the open source community, there hasn't been a good upgrade to the basic face swapping in quite some time. What we've had to do instead is use a face enhancer. This, instead of swapping the face at a higher resolution, adds a step after the regular low-resolution swap and enhances the face by upscaling it and hopefully getting rid of the pixelation. The problem with these are that they aren't nearly as accurate as what a higher resolution swapper would be, and sometimes the output could look a bit fake or plasticky. This is where the Pixel Booster comes in. It's a sort of workaround to the higher resolution problem. Now you can basically get the same results of a much higher resolution face swap without having to do an enhancement afterwards. That's not to say that the face enhancer is worthless. No, but we're going to take a look at the results of a bunch of different Pixel Boost resolutions and also show what they look like with and without the enhancer. But first, let's take a look at how you use these new tools. It's actually very simple. Make sure you have FaceSwapper selected in the frame processors, and then you will now have two options just below it. Instead of just the FaceSwapper model, you will now also have a FaceSwapper Pixel Boost option. It will automatically be set to the 128 or to whatever the lowest resolution is of your model, and this will be the standard option you had to use before the Pixel Boost update. You can apparently use this with all of the swapping models, but I'm only going to bother with the InSwapper 128. Now you can choose what resolution you would like to use for your Pixel Boost. Starting from the original 128, you can then go to 256, 384, 512, 768, and 1024. And that's all there is to it. Once you've done whatever other settings you would like, hit start. So let's take a look at some of the results with a couple of clips. I'm only going to be showing 128, 256, 512, and 1024. I figured it would be easy enough to imagine what the other two options are like in between. And remember, these are without any face enhancers turned on.
I'm not a teacher, Ice. 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 I'm not a teacher, Ice.
We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it. We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it. We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it. We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it. We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it. We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Obviously, with these big 4K videos and close-ups, 128 is pointless on its own. Going all the way up to the 1024 boost makes it much more seamless, but you can still tell. When the face is a smaller part of the image, or the resolution of the video is just lower to begin with, it's not nearly as noticeable, and you can easily get away with only using the Pixel Boost. But for when it's not enough, let's see what happens when we add the face enhancer on top of the 1024. The default blend is set to 80, so we'll see how that looks first.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Obviously, way too plasticky. I usually set it to about 50 when I'm using it, so let's see how that works with the Pixel Boost.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Still too much. I'm going to cut that in half now to 25.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
That actually looks pretty good. It looks a little plasticky, but I think it might be because the source I'm using is a beautiful model named Maria Arsentiva that may have a lot of makeup on and is just showing 0 blemishes. But just in case, let's take it down to 10 and see what we get.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Alright, at 10, I'm not really seeing any improvement over the one without the enhancer. Here's all the enhancers lined up so you can get an idea of the difference.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Now let's just compare the one without the enhancer to the 25 blend.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Yeah, I personally think this is the best one. I'm pretty happy with that quality of output, but what's the difference between that and instead just using the basic 128 with the face enhancer? Let's find out. I'm going to again do a few different blending options. This time I'm only going to do the default 80, the 50 that I tend to use a lot, and then the 25 to compare it directly to the Pixel Boost one that turned out the best. The 10 seems like it would be kind of pointless.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Of these three, I think the 50 looks closest to being realistic. The 25 blend on the 128 just doesn't seem to be enough to hide the pixelation. And now, how does this regular 128 pixel with the 50 blend compared to the 1024 pixel boost with the 25 blend?
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that. At first glance, they look nearly identical. I will say that I like the lighting and color a bit more on the 1024 over the 128. However, overall, I think the 128 actually looks better. The teeth are a bit better, and the eyes do much better at following the original video. It's not a huge difference between the two, though. What it comes down to between these two now is that it takes much less time to render out the 128 than the 1024. I think that the big problem here is that we're having to use the face enhancer at all. So why are we? Because the face is pretty big, and without it, it's easy to see the pixelation. But how is it when the video is viewed normally? Let's take a look at a more normal size of this video with the three of them side by side. The two with the face enhancements, and the 1024 without face enhancement. I'm going to play them through twice without labeling so that there is no bias. Maybe it's obvious to you, maybe not.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us? Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Did you guess correctly? Was it obvious? Maybe it was, but I think if someone doesn't have the comparison, the 1024 without enhancement at this size is the way to go. Not only because it still looks pretty good, not only because it's saving a lot of time, though that definitely is important, but the lip movement, the eye movement, all of the movement is so much better. So much more like the original video. Okay, one last quick test. We're going to put Ryan Reynolds in for Miles Teller. With this scene, the face is already decently small, but a regular size scene throughout the movie and basically any movie. I'm only going to show the same three outputs from the last test. Again, no labels from the start.
It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too.
And this is where the Pixel Booster really shines. I honestly have a difficult time seeing the difference. And once I do look really closely, I actually like the booster without the enhancer the best, as the enhancer tends to mess with the original movements a tiny bit. So is the Pixel Booster worth using? Absolutely. It's just a question of when. And it mostly just seems like it might not be worth using with close-ups and high-resolution faces. But for average-size videos, with average or a bit smaller-sized faces, I'd definitely use the Pixel Booster. Depending on the resolution of the face, it may be a good idea to even use the lower resolution boosters, like the 512 or maybe even the 256. It's nice to have all these options for the infinite situations that come up. What do you think of it? Are you going to try it out? Well, before you do, I would absolutely appreciate it if you would take a second to like, subscribe, and share this video. Maybe even leave a comment or ask a question below. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a few things. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.